So Transcom Worldwide is a Swedish company. That's why it's probably not known very well in this area. And it's pretty interesting that we are a BPO company, which are trying to change a lot. So just waiting for slides. Yeah, cool, thanks. So we are shifting from BPO to NCX. We started a long time ago, around 6 years ago. But to answer what is really crucial here, it is what is BPO. So business process outsourcing business is really about hiring people, current processes, basically putting them into the seats of operations. And that's how our customers are really perceiving us. But it wouldn't be fair for us who are working in administration, AI, IT, uh, other supporting areas like finances and administration. And that's why we shifted leadership a couple of years ago, 6 years ago, to be exact, on the C level. And we set up a really good foundation for what will I'm going to tell you about. To explain it in numbers, we are really a large organization, 32,500 people working in the company, more than 28 countries, a lot of digital solutions, some of them definitely shadow IT, not to be truthful. And of course, in newer era, especially in the last year and a half, 32 AI solutions. And why we decided to go in that direction, it is because of the AI imperative, of course. And first thing that we found out that the biggest problem is that current model is no longer working. It's becoming less effective and it's not really usable anymore in that way. The other thing that we found out, of course, is that technology will change everything, especially in this next couple of years, even more. And we need to implement multiple technologies in our existing systems and new systems really quickly, not just only to survive, but win new businesses. And third thing, as mentioned in a couple of the sentences, customer experience is really changing rapidly. You are getting the services much faster than before. You are getting your own support really quickly. And this really affected us in a way that we started as a first step to set up a good relationship with our technical partner, global public cloud provider, who is helping us out to change because we are a really old company, 30 years old, and a lot of our employees is still working there, 27 years here. We have in our product team, we have 65-year-old product owner who is working with us on really interesting products. So that's why we needed help from outside, how to change, how to improve, what to do. One of the first things that we did is basically that we tried and started re-engineering our processes and start to write new ones, or when what we actually found out, there are some processes that are being done even though there is no written word, so you needed to create them. Second step, we invested a lot in AI from our perspective because it's around 65 million euros that was invested into AI and other parts of the departments, especially in IT. And the third thing, and which is most challenging for us, is basically using our old environments because we are dependent on customers. We are not using our own systems like CRM sometimes, but we are depending on the systems which are like a Zebel, really older one. You cannot integrate very well with it. It lasts a long time. So we need to marry old with new. Really important in this case when we were strategizing. Next, what is the heart of the AI? And since we are people company, as you have seen, 32,500 people, we started training modules, really emphasizing that it's really good to experiment, try it out, try to change. It's really hard, as mentioned yesterday on a couple of the sessions. It's a large organization. It's hard to change. There is a lot of mindset here. We are all around the world. We are a global company. We are working from Philippines to Colombia. We have a lot of our agents in Philippines, around 10,000, going to the West, different mindset, different demography, and it, you need to structurize that really differently for each of the specific group. Uh, and most of the people were scared, of course. It's first line support. So L1 support usually is being automated really quickly, depending on the market. So we had to ensure our people, we will help you out to evolve. Why? Because we can do more with less, which is really important for them because it could really cause a really big problem in their mindset if we started just like we will automate you in a really quick manner. And again, the service agent will evolve, augment. Like many industries, we are all affected. Even car industry is affected. There are exoskeletons which are helping people in the factories, building cars. So we will also evolve our agents by building them exoskeletons to help them out to be even faster. And that all previously said went into this direction. So 3 years ago, outsourcing was just hire people, replace the process, sign a contract, and that's it. Now not a single customer is no longer ready to do that. They all require from us that we need to improve, we need to implement digital solutions, do, as I said, more with less. And we devised 3-pillar strategy, what will help us out in that. What is the customer experience for us? It is fast first call resolution that will increase NPS of the customer's needs. It is highly personalized. Why? There is still human in the loop. Human is in front of the wheel, driving the communication in the right way. Third, predictive analytics, which will help us out in determining what is really good and what the agent potentially could answer to be even faster and better in our conversation with the end customer. And because of that, all of those, we started working inwards and tried to seek what is the biggest issue, what we would like to resolve, what is the biggest pain point for our operations in current stage. And it is one portion of the training, really important one, really crucial for first-timers joining call centers. It is AI-driven agent training. So we built this by ourselves internally with the help of our technical partner. And the training looked like this. So after sufficient portion of the training, you would get enough about the procedures, you would be almost ready for operations, and you would try to build a scenario and try to mimic that with a trainer or quality assurance. But now we enabled our agents to talk with the client, which is basically an AI client. So it is a built-up persona for our customer. So let's say you're a delivery company, and we have built a persona which can be various stages, various questions. It can be even a telecommunication customer asking about packages. It helps out first-timers definitely. It also helps when you are trying to roll out new features on the products, like new packages in the call centers. Sorry, for the end customers in call centers. But then we thought that it's not enough. And I think that a lot of people today said it, that our like a knowledge assistant, support assistant is possible, and it's easygoing. It can be made really quickly. We started working, sorry, this is the slides, how it looks like from the step 1 to step 4. But we started working on AI-driven access to knowledge. So it is a knowledge assistant which helps out your agents answering questions really quickly. So it's a first pillar that you're helping out, and second pillar. But it's also working on data. In this case, it helps out to give you an answer really quickly, like a ChatGPT, but it's grounded. So you only talk with the data provided. Since we are depending a lot on our customers, they're providing us the data, or usually documents, PDFs, whatever they have ready for us. And we took a lot of time to process the documents, put it in the knowledge base so we can use it. Now we really don't need to. Why? Because it can be uploaded in a native format, and it's small scale, so it won't affect the principle of garbage in, garbage out. You still need to have a moderator who will control that, but it will help you out to roll it out really quickly about new package, let's say, when our customers, especially in Italian market, are giving us data. The other thing that we thought we can also help out our training teams, creating quizzes and questions based on the grounded data. So it's really important to do it. Why? I mean, it's simple to develop this kind of AI assistant, but to moderate it, to improve it, to get better answers, it needs time, it needs experts, especially if you want to chain it with different kind of models in the background, so it can help you out to achieve even better purpose. And it looks like this. Intentionally, I left it old version and new version. Old version is a little bit not UX friendly. The newer one is much better, looking like similar to ChatGPT, but nevertheless, it's our model behind of it, fine-tuned. But what it helps you out is, it is a telecommunication question here, basically asking a package, what is the best package for the customer who has, I don't know, a need for 10 gigabytes of data, and it answers with the package and the price. And it also provides an answer in the form of a document. So document is attached below. So even if you want to check whole document, you can check it out. And the secret ingredient for all of this is that you should foster, as mentioned previously, a culture of experimentation and risk-taking, especially in the areas that you wanted to improve. And that's our AI teams and technical teams, engineers who are working on that. So we gave them more than a year just to play around. Do whatever you want. Try to break stuff. And now we are leveraging that experience and building stuff really quickly. With smaller teams, we are still not satisfied. We will try to increase the size of the team even more. Another crucial factor is that collecting feedback from all of those people who are working on the front line, really important. At the end, they will use those tools. They will consume all the information that Technology Assistant in this case gives them, but in the further development, we will potentially find new features that need to be implemented, that they need them. And also celebrating failures, it was also mentioned yesterday. So as an old company, it's something similar to banks. It wasn't allowed to fail. We weren't allowed to fail because our customer is similar, like a customer is a god. But in this case, you should really cherish that, but also learn, document what happened, where we failed, why we failed, and how can we better next time. And as the end, like, it is important to find a really good partner when you don't have internal talent, at least to guide you for your hand in the starting when you're starting, at least writing processes together, especially in machine learning and machine learning ops. And I would say these are 4 secret ingredients that we found out in really short term. So what's next? We will focus on our third pillar, which is data. We are generating around 2.1 million interactions per day. Is it a text, email, or SMS, whatever, very omni-channel. So data is crucial element for us. and really important, but it's also shared data. So we also need to work with our customers. We cannot just use the data we used on our customer L1 support. And one first steps, what we are building is automated QA. It will be launched during end of Q3 and start of the Q4. So automated QA will help out our quality assurance teams in various operations to get almost near real time of analysis of scorecards. So scorecards really important. It is a process of what the agent needs to do, from welcoming message to ending message and everything between. So that's what we are going to try to help out our training teams in quality. But sorry, just to finish it, it's really unknown what's next. We are waiting for new LLMs really soon during the summer. It will help us out definitely in many areas, but it's really hard to strategize in this case, because usually before you could build a strategy which lasts 5 years and you would be safe. Then we reduced it to 3. Now it's less than 1 because it's changing constantly. So you need to always be watchful what's next. And that's it. Thank you very much.
That's it. That's it. Not quite, not quite. Any questions at all? Dino, hold on a second.
Hi, and thank you for this presentation, Dina. I really loved it. You mentioned a couple of, I would say, great things like uncertainty, risk-taking, and failures. The question is related to uncertainty as something we are heavily exposed to as product people. How do you handle uncertainty in your team or you personally or your company? I know it's maybe a little bit off topic, but if you have something on top of your mind that you can share with us.
I mean, it's also related to positivity, I would say. We rely on our team internally. So there is almost 10 of us in the team of the product owners. We basically separated, just to explain it a little bit. I have only product owners. There is no technical team. Technical team is another set of tools. So we centralized a little bit development and product. So we have people from Philippines to Colombia. So we are having our weekly meetings, trying to push us together, because somebody in United States maybe heard about something new, what's happening. So they share knowledge between us. So communication, definitely a key, mentioned a lot of times, but you should remain positive, whatever happens. And cherish also success, reward success, not only failures, what I said, but success is really important. So if you want to, from your team to grow, it is one of the necessities, definitely. So just forget to tell that 2 guys are with me who are product owners of those tools, Darko and Luka. So Luka is technical product owner. Darko is more business-oriented product owner. We split it. We're a large organization. We can afford it. So we have more technical-oriented and business. So they talk to each other every day. We have chats, whatever. So it's also being positive. You transfer your positivity also to the delivery team. So just sharing that.
Fantastic. Another question, perhaps, before we wrap up. No, all happy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks so much to Dino Filipovic. Thank you so much. Right, guess what? Thanks to Dino, who has finished slightly earlier, short and sweet, you'll agree, which means we all get an extra 10 minutes for coffee. So it's not 30 minutes, it's 40 minutes. So 40 minutes for a coffee break, again, a networking break. You know the drill, you know where it is. So back here at 1:30 for more Productworld 2024. Okay, should we get going? Let's get cracking with this our next session. So if you come on over, the famous selfies are done at the back there, taking a seat. Right, as you can see, what's this all about? What are we jumping into now? You'll agree with me, the great thing about today, yesterday as well, we jump into all these different topics and they may not be your area of expertise, but from what I'm hearing and how the conversation is unfolding, there's always something in there for everyone that they can sort of take away, maybe change it and implement it in what they're doing, which I'm sure from this next session you'll be able to do the same thing. So is it market the product, or alternatively switch that around, product the market? I can't tell you that. Maybe you've got your ideas, but certainly the next gentleman here, he's going to share his perspective of what he's doing, I guess, and what's working, the ups and downs of everything to help you make your decision on the answer to this one. So please welcome on to the stage right now, Igor Kranjec.
Very good on the surname. Hello, everybody. I am in a better position than having you all here after the lunch. I'm having you here after coffee, so I feel that you will have a bit more energy. Let me just shortly introduce myself. I am VP of Marketing at Farseer. I actually did my university here in Opatija, so it's fun to be here again after so many years. I finished tourism. Started working in tourism and decided that I do not want to work in tourism, and switched to marketing in technology. So I've been in tech marketing for 12, 13 years already. Started in A1, switched to Infobip and other IT technology and software companies. Now I joined recently Farseer as their VP of marketing. Today I will talk about market the product or product the market, but just first, please raise your hands. How many here of you work in marketing? As expected. How many here of you are in product? A lot more. How many of you product people work with marketing, closely with marketing? And how many of you are satisfied with how are you working with marketing, or marketing works with you? As expected. This happens very often, unfortunately. So I'll try and not to be the standard marketing guy, typical marketing guy, and I'll tell you the point of this presentation up front when I still have your attention. This happens very often. We see that, and we think with that we have an illusion of choice. Should we choose between product or marketing? And the main point is that product and marketing should work together. I've been in the same situation numerous times when I was an individual contributor in marketing, when I started leading marketing teams. At the early beginnings, our biggest pain point was actually the collaboration with product. We knew that we needed product to market our stuff, but we couldn't get through to them. We couldn't get there soon enough. And this is actually what I'm going to talk about, and this will be the difference between product, the market, or market the product. We cannot be successful without both approaches. So product and marketing should work together. They are, left and the right hand of the product, and they should work together towards product success. Product marketing as a role actually came to be because of that issues between product and marketing. So that's when product marketing came to be as a bridge between those two departments, and that's when this role started taking off with tech companies, let's say 10, 15 years ago. When I was talking about this topic with a friend, when she saw the presentation, I asked her also for the feedback, and she said, "You're basically talking about how marketing can save product from themselves." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then we added another slide that actually, we talked about this in a few presentations already. On the first day, there are a lot of reasons why products fail. It's often because we have some kind of misalignment on the real need. We are not solving the real problem. We didn't do enough or adequate market research, user research, and so on. When I was talking with product managers during my career to find a better way to work with them, they would often say, if there was only someone else that can do this research while I tackle, the technical stuff, while I tackle the users themselves, if there was someone that can do the research on the market and everything else. And on the other hand, when I talk to product leaders about this, they're very often what they say, no worries, our product managers do all that. They are superstars. And when that is true, that's perfect. And when they are able to do everything that they need to do, so tackle the technical stuff, tackle the product itself, and tackle, market research, user research, and everything else, you have a golden product manager. Try to keep him as long as possible. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why product fail, and this is how product marketing can come in and actually help product, to give that product a real success in the market. Let's think about the situation where product came first, and then you went and tried to find your market. And of course, that is shocking, unimaginable, and never seen before. For the most of the companies that I worked for, they already had the product over there. They developed the product. They kind of knew who is it for. They knew what problem it's solving. That was not an issue. But they were like, okay, now we need to find a way how to market it, and we need to find a market. So they went with the problem first to find a solution for that problem. That's a great approach. That's not a wrong approach. But finding the market later is something that it's, as you may know, quite tricky. When I was preparing for this presentation, as a real marketer, I went to Google product development process flow. And as a great marketer, I took the one that had the best SEO, that looked the best, had the best colors, and the one that fits into my story, of course. So this one, when we go through the ideation and research, product planning, definition, all the way down to product development and launch, what often happens, what happened in 5 out of 5 companies that I worked for, where does marketing actually step in? At what point, at what stage? At the very end, at product development and launch. This is the time where the product goes and, okay, we are now ready to launch. Let's bring marketing in and let them do their stuff. Sounds okay, of course, but what is issue with marketing entering so late? On the one hand, we have a risk of misalignment between what market really needs. That does not happen often, of course. As said, there are a lot of product managers and product teams that do a lot of research. But in my personal experience, we were focused more on the user and the problem, and they were not focused on the market research and where does this fit in. Personas, the buyer personas, become an aftermath, and that is an issue for a marketer. But of course, I often hear comments about who's using the buyer personas anyway, except for product marketing. Often, no one else. They stay in product marketing. Messaging is done in fast chaos. I am sure that a lot of times you were in a position to buy a certain product, a software, a B2B software. You look at their website, and messaging is full of boost your productivity, elevate, amplify, and all of other words that do not mean anything. And from a marketing standpoint, when you see them, it often means that there's a misalignment between product and marketing because they weren't deep in the product. They do not understand the product. They weren't included soon enough to really understand the product, to really convey the value to the market. And they need to go and use boost, elevate. When did you Google a product and write down in your Google search, how do I boost my productivity? If you have, thank you for that click. But I don't think that no one ever uses how to boost my productivity. So the messaging that is done when marketing gets in really late is in chaos, and you can see that on their marketing website. And you can later hear it in the customer feedback, that in the sales, we saw something on the web, we heard the other thing, during the sales process, and then we got completely something else. That is very often, and it often means the misalignment between those departments. Marketing is then trying to strongly understand the need. So when we don't have a big window of time. Of course, product is done and they want to launch. So I had numerous times where I stopped the launch because I said we're not ready. So we cannot launch something just because you're ready. I'm sorry, it's your issue that you didn't call us there soon enough. So it's not a nice conversation to have, but sometimes it happens because we need more time to prepare. And what it actually means that we are doing the aftermath and trying to understand what's happening. What's happening with the need and how to communicate it. There's no time for sales enablement, and then you have comments from product teams. Our sales doesn't understand the product at all. They do not know how to use it. They are communicating the wrong things about the features and so on. And my personal favorite, and I wish I had got some money for each and every time I heard it, but my personal favorite is when product leadership or even company leadership comes to marketing and say, okay, we've done our product, now give me our USP. And then I say, but if you haven't had the USP when you were developing the product, I can think of one. Will it be a good one? Probably not, but I can think of one. And again, that's when you have issues on, really seeing how does our product differentiate and what's happening. The product was done with focus on the user and the problem, and I'm saying that's not a bad thing, but there was not market research involved. There was not a whole outer picture taken into consideration. So this can be done. This can be done before. One of the reasons why we are not being included early on and through all of my career, I'm saying as I've been here for 30 years working now, but in the last 7-8 years that I'm leading marketing teams, what I'm trying to do is have a really strong bond with the product department, with the product leadership, because it comes from the top, to help them understand what the role can bring to them and what value can bring to them. And now I'm not going to give you now the job description for product marketing, but I will just go quickly through some of the stuff that we actually do that can contribute to the product role, that can contribute to the product and make the product a successful thing from the launch. When I say product, I don't only mean about the new product launch. I also mean that if you have an existing product and you're launching a big new feature, something that is a game changer, it's not a new product per se. We do the same thing. We need to do all of the same things that we're talking about. So why does this really happen? On one hand, it's our fault because we as marketers often, and I saw that in myself until I realized, we would sit down with our leadership and we would be like, they do not call us on their meetings, they do not tell us, and boo, boo, boo. That happens very often. We like to whine, we like to talk how we're not being included, which am I doing right now? But we are not showing the value. We are not going back and asserting ourselves, okay, let me help you, let me come with you and build this product, as it should be built. We are rather stuck on the part they do not want to include us. So we need to reverse it and actually show the value. I'm actually mentoring a group of product marketers globally in associations that I'm a part of, and they all come with the same problem. They all come with the same issue. And what my biggest thing that I tell them, just show them some kind of value. Don't tell them to, don't wait for them to tell you to do something. Do something, show them value, and they'll call you back. And that is actually the point when product starts calling you back, when you are not only doing marketing fluff with Boost and Elevate, you're actually providing them value. On the other hand, through my experience and research that I did, what we see is that there are some assumptions from product managers about our role. And if I'm wrong for something here, please correct me. I would be happy to be wrong with this. But often the product side see us only as a tactical position. So they see us as someone that will make a presentation, make a slide deck, do the messaging. They see us more as a tactical role and not as a strategic role that it actually is. And that should be in line with product. You can see in some of the companies when you have VP of product and VP of product marketing, that means they're thinking that this should happen simultaneously, but it doesn't always mean that it's actually happening. But they are thinking on it and they are on the way to do it. So they have the leadership at the same position of two different branches of two different things of one product, which actually shows they're thinking about the market side and the product side. I am not a tech person, but I've been in tech for my whole career. And yes, we do lack technical knowledge, of course, but it's not something that cannot be learned. And I did give extra effort to understand what are they saying, what are they talking about. I went and talked to engineers, explain me as a dummy what does this do, because I need to understand it. And because there was, I wasn't called to meetings about sprint plannings because in either way, you don't understand what we're talking about. Yes, but you're talking about what will you do, which helps me to plan all of my work ahead and to see what will I be doing. And up until I started, at least understanding what they're talking about, I wasn't invited to the meetings. And afterwards, once you start getting to those meetings, it actually helps us a lot to actually do stuff on time and in a way that will actually be a success to the product. Often, I've heard many times, I don't believe in marketing. Marketing doesn't work on me. It often comes from engineers mostly, but also I'm generalizing everything, so just don't take it. Of course, there's different points of view, but I don't believe in marketing. Marketing doesn't work in me. Everything is marketing. Sorry to disappoint you. But dismissal of marketing insights also, but again, it's our fault because we come and show you some fluff. We show you boost and elevate, and of course you will come and go and kind of, I don't need that marketing stuff. I don't need boost and I don't need elevate. They also see us solely serving the sales team, which is true. So product marketing sits between product sales and marketing. And if it's done right, they work closely with the product. They are part of the product organization, and they brief sales and they brief marketing. When this triangle works perfectly, then you have a really, really, really good flow. I said I'm not going to do a job description for product marketers, but just to show you what are we working on when we need to launch a product, just to show you it's not enough to have 2 days before launch, 5 days before launch, 2 weeks before launch. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done for that launch to actually be perfect. Positioning, who are we serving, why are we doing it, what challenges are we solving, what pain points are we solving, who is on the market there, who are we going against, and so on. This is actually, in my experience, always the hardest part to nail, because you need to find the path. Otherwise, you're just shooting blanks all over and trying to see what will catch. That's also a strategy. That's not, sometimes it works. That's often a strategy for companies starting up. Then it makes sense. But once you find yourself as a product, this is a very important part that marketing works on, just to find who are you targeting, where are you positioning yourself. And this is an internal thing. You're not communicating this. Based on this positioning and everything, here you can find your buyer personas. And buyer personas, yes, it's astrology. It's a horoscope. It's not, one-on-one, but it helps you understand the other part. In the last company I worked for, we interviewed about 10% of our customer base for the buyer personas, but we also try to get as much interviews from outside. So not to only interview our buyer personas, but to people that still haven't bought our product, but we know they're using something like this because they're working in that field. This is a project that can last for 2 or 3 months without, not doing it really fast. It's also a live thing. It's always being remodeled. Things are changing, and you need to make it be alive. Otherwise, it's just going to be John Doe and Jane Doe on a paper, which serves no one. Pricing and packaging. I was actually commenting with Anna before. Depending on the company, sometimes product does this, sometimes marketing does this, sometimes product marketing does this. Often it's a shared responsibility, but in order to do the pricing, in order to do the packaging, you need to understand what you're selling. Again, we do not have 2 weeks only before the launch to think, how should we price it? There are a lot of interviews for pricing that can be done, and a lot of analysis. So bringing us more early helps absolutely do this. Competitive landscaping. So this is where we come to the market itself. This is how we find our USP. When we are doing this very early on, then we can influence product and say, okay, we see that these 5 features that we're working on that are solving certain problems, all of our competitors have it, but those 2, no one has it. This can be our USP. This can be something that we can, try to prioritize these. Don't put them later in the product roadmap. It's something that we can win other customers from our competitors. And knowing who should you analyze, and at the same time you do this competitive landscaping for the product team, but you do it also for the sales team. We always do our sales battle cards, how we call them. So during the sales call, if someone asks, so why are you better than competitor X that we are using currently, sales team can draft up their sales battle card and find all the bits and pieces that we are better, all the bits and pieces that we are not better at, and try to mitigate those. But this is also something that takes a lot of time to do and can help in the product development process to have the market in mind. So not to have only the problem in mind, because all of those 5 features that I mentioned are solving the problem, but those 2 that were maybe put in the later in the product roadmap are the ones that will make a difference. So having this competitive landscape can help a lot. Sales enablement, I'm not going to read through numbers, but that having a sales that understands the product can bring better results. I think that's common sense. We don't need to talk about this much, but if we know a lot about the products, we are the one doing the sales training. We are the ones, training those salespeople how to use the tool, how to use the product, whatever we are selling, and how to talk with the potential customer on the other side, and offloading this from product. I was working in a few companies where this was done by product. That's not a bad thing. It's good for them to be in touch with sales also. But offloading this sales training as a product marketeer can leave you time to work on the product itself. And we had product managers come here and there to some of the meetings just to talk about the product, just to be involved still and to hear feedback directly from the salespeople. When do all of these beautiful things happen? After the first product development process that I Googled, I actually talked to Anna to help me write up the real one. And this is one of the most often processes that happen. It's not linear usually. Some things happen in parallel, of course. But for this presentation, I needed it to be linear. And as you can see, all of the stages, you see marketing strategy and business analysis. And one would think, cool, this is a time where product marketing comes in. It sounds logical, but it's not, of course. Product marketing should come somewhere with the idea screening. So when the discovery call started happening, it's perfect if you have your product marketing team with you to either take an X amount of calls to do themselves, because you will get a different point of view, either to go with you and just do maybe the notes. But it's for us, it's also giving us an understanding on what are we going to be selling in the future. And having product marketing come in early on, this early on, is actually that when we come to the marketing strategy and business analysis part, we are already ready with a lot of stuff. We already know what we are doing, and this is the part where we're briefing marketing. So product marketing is often part of the product, not part of the marketing team. This is the part when we start briefing marketing so they can do their campaign, so they can see what markets are they going on with, what messaging, and so on. So if we come up really early, when we come to this part, it will go really fast. It will be very efficient. Maybe it will not be fast, but it will be efficient. And of course, better things will happen, and we will try to ensure product success, and be in the 5% of the products that actually go live and be successful. A few things what happens when you have those customer focus that I would say good product managers all have, and you have the market demand or the market focus or the market side. Um, Stronger product market fit, of course. I'm missing product here. Stronger product market fit, because if you don't have product market fit, you have a product that no one needs, and we heard about this a few times in our presentations on yesterday and today. Greater response to customer needs, but if we put everything else aside, and the one thing that the owners, that the investors, and the management team really loves is it basically creates more money for you and for the company, because you are selling something that someone needs, it's solving a problem, and you know how to differentiate yourself from your competition. There's not a lot of products left. There's not a lot of products going out there creating a new category. They're creating a new market. You are very often working in a very saturated market. It's not often that you work, with 1, 2, 3 competitors, which is perfect. But uh, last 2 companies I worked for were in MarTech field, so in marketing technology. And for 2023, I think that for marketing technology, for the stack of vendors, there was I think about 6,000 vendors, even more in all of the categories. So you have a really, really big and saturated market. It's not easy to have an USP, but if you are, doing the market research early on in the development, you can develop it. It can be something that is done before and not an aftermath. One thing that I haven't said in the beginning when I was introducing myself, one of the things that I do in my spare time, which I don't have a lot of anymore, I bake cakes. I bake cupcakes and wedding cakes, actually. And someone told me, so you're going to give them a recipe on how to market their product or product the market. And then when I was thinking how to finish this presentation, I'm not going to give you a recipe because each and every company is different. But what I want to tell you is that you need to work on aligning your product and aligning your marketing. If you're in product leadership and you have marketing on the other side, try to work with them. But it comes from leadership. If the leadership is not in sync, people below can be best friends, but they will not be in sync. And this is something that I learned once I started being in marketing leadership. Before I was like, only mad because product was not calling me. So what I will give you is a recipe for success. I will not go through it. I will not read it because it's not a cooking class. But you will all get presentations if I'm not wrong. So you can take the recipe and cook it at your own company. But yeah, I urge you to be open-minded toward marketing. Luckily, we have more and more people in marketing tech companies that want to understand the product, that do not want to do only fluff, that want to understand what's really happening and try to embrace it. If you have a champion like that in your marketing team, embrace it. Try to make it your champion in the product team, because you can get a lot of value from it. And try to be open-minded towards that collaboration. Not to leave you only with the ingredients. There's also steps how to do it and how to mix all those ingredients together. And one important thing is that this recipe, cooking time is forever. It's basically something that when you start doing, you should iterate and continue. And as the almost only person that works in marketing here, I urge to each and every product person here, as I said, try to embrace marketing. Try to work with your marketing team on that integration, because if done right, you can get a lot of value from it, and it can really benefit you as in your role and the product and its success in the end. Thank you.
There we are. Right. So, are there any questions? Any questions at all? If you do, I'll come around with a mic.
Hi.
Hi.
So nice presentation. Just wanted to ask you, regarding the product marketing, I know it depends from the company to company, but what's the ideal like leader for the product marketing team? Is it CPO, CMO, CSO? I know, again, depends from the company, but from your perspective, what would be the best?
There actually is a good answer for that. So, in my opinion, if there's not product marketing leadership that high up, it should be a part of the product organization because that's where it fits and it will be closest to the product, and then it will brief. In a perfect scenario, uh, they have the same level of leadership and they are their own vertical. That's a perfect scenario because then you're making things equal on the politics playing ground, if nothing else. The worst thing is for product marketing to sit in marketing, and I am a VP of marketing, unless the VP of marketing was a product marketer. Because then you understand what's happening, then you can lead that product marketing team and tell them, go and sit with product. My product marketer from my previous company, she was sitting on all of the plannings, on all of the different situations and meetings with product, and she was constantly with the product team because I, as a ex-product marketer, knew that this should happen. So most often, it's best for it to sit in the product organization. If you have a product marketing leader, then either it's on vertical or in marketing if it's a VP of marketing was a product marketer before.
Wonderful. Any other questions before we wrap up? No, all good. I actually have a question. I do hope there is a question there. Question? No. You were just going like that. Okay. Question. I do have a question. So in Croatia, actually my first question is, what do you think of the cakes here in the hotel?
I'll choose not to answer.
And also, in Croatia, weddings, what is the most popular cake for weddings? I'm not talking about the big wedding cake. I'm talking about those small ones, like margaritas and all
We
those.
We are not. In my opinion, when I was doing wedding cakes, 90% were chocolate. So we are not very, because with chocolate, you will be good for the biggest amount of guests that are coming, and you go on the safe side. You're not.
It's always a winner. Stick with chocolate. Always a winner. Listen, we've learned so much, not just naturally about the topic of your presentation, but also the fact that you are a cake maker. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Mr. Igor Krančić. New course. Right, we move on now to our last session, final session of the day, and this is it's a conversation, it's a debate, it's a productive, healthy conversation all around how AI naturally is changing the product landscape. How is it changing the product landscape? Again, some of you, I'm sure you have your own opinions on how it's doing that. What we're going to do now is hear from a group of people who have knowledge of this, who are doing it themselves as well, and they're going to share what they're doing to help you kind of maybe help make your own decisions on this as well. Right. So please welcome to the stage the woman who's going to shape this productive, healthy discussion forward as well. Looking forward to this one as well. Please welcome to the stage Head of Product from Mindsmiths, Miss Majana Havranek.
Afternoon, everyone, and I must say right now, welcome to this panel, and also it's a pleasure seeing you here and having you here because we know that we are the last one on the menu. So it's really nice that you saved the room for dessert. And the first thing now, I would love to invite our dear panelists here. We'll start with Tanya. Tanya is Head of Product at Agrivi. So welcome, Tanya. You can choose your seat since you're the first one. Then we have Gordon, who is CEO of Visage Technologies. Welcome, Gordon. And there is Mario, who is Head of IoT and Digital Health at a company called Ericsson Nikola Tesla. So we can take seats right now. Are we all comfy? Almost. Okay, so today's topic, let me say it in a very direct way. Today's topic is what's going on with products right now. What's happening with products and the market in the era of artificial intelligence, which is actually the first disruption we are having in more than a decade. So, you know what I have noticed? I have noticed is that not everyone is aware that the times are challenging right now. Why challenging? It's simply because whenever you have a disruption, disruption brings hype. And when you have hype, you have a lot of challenges. I'm trying not to say problems, but we can look at it this way. People who need products, AI products for their businesses, like you do, it might be quite difficult for them to recognize, to separate what just hype and what will really bring them value. On the other hand, people who actually sell these products, if they cannot match the hype, they might not be able to sell them, or it will be really hard for them to sell. So it's a little bit tricky, and if it sounds complex, you're right, it is. So let's say that this hype versus value in AI is one of the most controversial topics, and we are going to discuss it today. So on stage, you have 4 product people. All of us, we create AI products, and I'm not a professional panel moderator. As you know, I'm head of product. But I wanted that you have 360 point of view on this topic today. This is why we have Tanya. She represents a company that started way before I hype, and now she has to adapt. Then we have Gordon, who is 100% AI business. And Mario's company is often perceived as super traditional one. So you're going to give us your point of view from your perspective. So we can start. Welcome once again. And Tanya, since I mentioned you first, I would love to start with you. Tell us, what AI products do you create? For whom, in terms of course of in terms of organizations, users, clients, and why did you decide to get into that? Was it like opportunity or fear of missing out or something else?
Hi, everybody. First of all, Agreevy. We are in a highly traditional industry, which is agriculture. And primarily, our product, our core product was a farm management software, and it still is. And this product is a highly complex product, and we are selling it to the agri-food industry all over the world. However, what we saw throughout last several years is that with these kinds of product and with digital transformation in general of the farms in the world, only 2% of the global farms are large farms, and to these farms, the digital transformation is focused on. What remains is 98% of the small farmers who are left either unattended or are left with a variety of different kinds of digital solutions they can select to use, but that are usually asking them to either download an application, log in into a software, go through an entire onboarding process, and farmers don't have time for this. They don't have time for this. They want something simple, they want something available, and then they want something that brings value now. There comes our AI product. So Agreevy has from the last year introduced a new product into its portfolio, which is called Agreevy Engage. And this product is AI advisory platform, which is intended to serve exactly these end customers, which are farmers, with the advisory services such as how to grow certain crops, which crop protection products they can use or they are allowed to use based on the regulations that are set on the national levels, how to do a variety of different things, how to select certain products from the variety of different products that are available to them to make them more successful, make their business more profitable, make their business more successful. And this product enables us to reach those farms as well, because now we are offering a simple advisor that can tend to these people through WhatsApp or Viber very simply. We are actually positioning this product through agri-food companies still, because they have the biggest connection with those farms. They have large farmer networks that they regularly work with, like input manufacturers, which are crop protection product companies, fertilizer companies, and similar. And through these companies, we are able to serve a big population, a big group of farms seamlessly and easily, and bring them the value quickly, which is very important nowadays.
Do you want to go next?
Sure. I like that you mentioned that in the last few years there is an AI hype. But I think this hype is very narrow in terms of large language models like ChatGPT and the language itself, which is very powerful medium that can be used in different applications, as we see for advisors and so on. But it's very narrow field. It's just one potential medium. AI is much broader than that. And of course, there is also generative AI as another important stream. So from that perspective, we are not doing that hyped AI, but we are doing the core AI. So the company was founded in 2002, so it's more than 20 years old, focused on computer vision. So algorithms and systems that can analyze and process videos and images in order to analyze what is there, and with specific focus, I would say, on three businesses. The first one is the automotive industry. So we are collaborating on a long-term project now. It's already 8 years with Qualcomm. So they're developing a system for autonomous driving, active safety, and anything that is related to the cameras that are capturing the scene around the vehicle. We are contributing to algorithms that can detect other traffic participants, the objects in the environment, traffic situation, signalization, and everything else around the vehicle. This is not our product, it's their product, but our teams are working together with their teams in the same way, in the same organization. In other parts of the business, we have our own products. So we have SDK, as like a set of algorithms for analyzing of a human face. So we can detect landmarks on a human face and then use those landmarks to detect expressions, head position, gaze, eyes movements, and then apply, for example, augmented reality like virtual glasses, virtual makeup, and so on. And then the third business is the newest one. It's actually application of our face technologies. It's actually focused on the beauty industry. So we are applying virtual makeup, but then we are also developing other algorithms that can help recommending appropriate makeup products, for example, based on your skin shade, which is quite interesting problem because of the lighting and so on. So there we are a bit closer to end customers, even though in all our businesses we are B2B and very deep in the value chain. So I will maybe during today's discussion advocate this point that AI can have different forms and that the value is in the approach that is more general. So you could solve some problems without AI, but with AI it's possible to solve more problems and something that maybe was not even imaginable before.
Thank you, Gordon. Mario, go ahead, please.
I'm leading IoT and digital health organization in Opatija. As you said, it's a traditional IT company based in Croatia with over 3,000 people, with Ericsson as a major owner of the company. So for those of you who don't know, Ericsson is a big technology company known for telecommunications, 5G, forwarding over phones, that has more than 100,000 people. It's on the market for 150 years and has more than 200 products in the portfolio. So since it's a technology company, we often try out things that are in the hype, that are before the hype, and sometimes we create new technologies. We invented new technology as a company. So we are at the forefront of different communication technologies from 3G, we are owning majority of IPRs for mobile networks. When coming to the AI, yeah, of course, I mean, we bought the hype, right? We started developing things that our customers wanted in telecom, mainly in network optimization, automation tasks. But today, for example, there is a plethora of data in telecom networks related to movement and communication that can be used in any of the applications. And this is where the majority of efforts of AI and Ericsson lie. We, as Ericsson Nikola Tesla, have done numerous experiments, for example, in transport. Imagine airport, right? Imagine optimizing public transport, taxis on the airport by the frequency of airplanes, by the profiles of passengers coming in, because Ryanair passengers and Swiss passengers do not have the same habits. You can do a lot of optimization and great work based on anonymous data from mobile networks. We did that with Zagreb Airport on one of the new projects called Olga. So these simple parts of products that we use in telecom or transport are not products per se that we are selling, but built in our existing offering. We are selling to B2B, so to big enterprise customers, public sector. We are often selling to companies and customers that know technology. For example, in healthcare, that's a completely opposite example of the industry that is, like a laggard in technology implementation, technology spend. This is where we need to educate our customers a lot. But if I would like to summarize what and how the markets and are forcing us into AI, they are not forcing us, at least on our market. Our customers are trying to get some AI in the products. We are explaining them how to use the AI. So we are pretty still not, forced to do AI in every product we have. But we are expecting. So we have lots of experience. We can talk in more details on it, but definitely something that's gonna not be a hype for this year solely. And just to get what Warren said, comment on it. We in Ericsson we have Gaia Global AI Accelerator from 2018 with more than 200 people serving different customers and use cases. So located in San Jose. So when you say LLMs are currently on the top of the hype, different other technologies within AI that are here for use. So I think we need to take it smart and implement, bring value in any aspect, either optimization, cost saving, better insights. So just take it easy. That's how we see it.
Thank you. And now straight to the point. How do you sell and what you need to do to sell? So if you can explain us, what do clients expect and what does market expect right now, and are their expectations aligned with reality and with what AI really does? Whoever wants to go first. Who will be brave? Tanya, I see it's you.
I can go first. So there for sure is hype, even in agriculture. And we get asked a lot, do we offer any AI products or anything? Because of course, companies also want to be either first on the market with something, they don't want to miss this moment, or they just want to see if they can bring any additional or new value through it. So our efforts currently are focused on, our sales is mostly oriented towards outbound activities for sales. They are getting actually quite a few conversations of potentially interested clients, and we are rolling out several projects in the upcoming period. And it's I would say the sales cycle for the AI platform for us is way shorter than it is for our core product, which is farm management software. the value that you can bring to our end customers, which are farmers, it's immediate. And this is where what is crucial. So the end users can immediately see some value, at least at the services that we provide, because we have the entire team internally that are agronomists that worked for years now in leveraging all of the knowledge we collected from our clients from before, but also from all of the knowledge we've gained through working with these kinds of companies. And now we are actually utilizing this for this new product to bring new value, bring immediate value to our end users now. And this is like, for us, working very well, I must say. There is for sure hype, and for sure everybody wants to see what is this AI, where's the AI here, what it can do, how. There are a lot of AI enthusiasts, of course, within the companies that are interested in these kinds of products, but there is still not a lot of knowledge regarding, okay, there is hype, but can it actually bring the value, back as it's now being presented all over the place? So,
okay, but tell me before we continue, are there any KPIs here, or the clients are just satisfied to come and say, oh, we have AI? Is that the main KPI at the moment, or is there more?
I would say from our experience at the moment is more of an either we want to be the first on the market to bring something like this into this very traditional or conservative industry, or we will hold on a bit, with setting up the clear KPIs for the start. Let's see how it goes, which is also a good and bad thing. But for now, I would say there is more of this. We want to be the first. We want to be the pioneers on the market. We want to be recognized by this because we want to bring some new value to the clients.
Okay, Mario, what do you think?
Depends on the customer. I think it's very trendy to wear AI, right? So if the customer wants to be first on the market itself, they require it. Telcos, as I mentioned, from our existing markets, guys, telco engineers, they know what they want. They know they've been fiddling with AI for years already. So there is no discussion in making a hype there. When they request something to optimize their networks, they know exactly what they want, right? Healthcare is interesting as an industry, right? The majority of AI products in healthcare is image-based. This is where AI algorithms really outperform humans in the speed of analysis of different images. Whether it's MRIs, whether it's X-ray scans, whether it's skin images, malformations of skin, and so on. So, and there are like out of 500 certified FDA certified products in healthcare, I think 70 or 80% are in radiology. We don't do images as a company, so image analysis was not part of our core strength, so we are not there. So we are focusing more on data per se and structured data, not even not structured data with LLMs, and we are waiting for our opportunity there. So more or less, I would say, depending on the customers, but I don't feel such high pressure yet on bringing AI into the products. So that's our response.
Let's see the other side.
Yeah, from my side, it's very different than what Tanya explained. I really liked this brave approach in being the first. It's sometimes very hard, but it sounds as you did a good product discovery, so that it already brings obvious value to customer, and it can be quite a good approach. I didn't have such courage, so in my experience, usually the approach was to use the form that was already familiar to customers. So start with something that is already on the market as a market follower, and then add AI to make it much better, to serve the value, but in a different way, and to serve it in a way that technology is invisible, but the value is emphasized. I can give multiple examples. I think the most obvious one is from the beauty industry, where we started with virtual try-on. This was something that is a direct result of our existing underlying technology, but then customers wanted very high quality product. They complained about pixels around lips, about finishes, textures, and so on. So we had to spend some time there. But from my perspective, it was always just the first step to enter the industry, and then to offer algorithms such as skin shade detector, face shapes, and so on. Which is then additional value that can be plugged in all different channels, for example, in marketing automation channels, in e-commerce plugins such as recommenders and so on. Of course, in the automotive industry is similar. There was a big hype about autonomous driving, and now we see that the situation on the market is changing in the last several years, in which more investments go in those companies who are building level by level of this autonomy, so supporting drivers with much more advanced functionalities, and not developing level 5 right away, removing the vehicle, the steering wheel from the vehicle. So because it's familiar for drivers, it's easier for the regulations and so on. So it's like a gradual process in which AI plays a very crucial role, but it's not visibly on the surface, and it's not something that you like directly presented that to the customers. Like we have a vehicle without the steering wheel, and it's the unique selling point, and go ahead. But it's a gradual process in which AI is still maturing, but also like the views and expectations are shaping to that reality as well.
Great, thank you. So the next question is about success of AI corporations, AI products, and all of our AI adventures. How important is the wow effect for success, and how important is value? What's the right balance? I'm thinking, is it even possible to succeed with something only useful now in this? I'm still calling it hype era because I'm really exposed to that. From my experience, that's very questionable. As Tanya said, you mentioned it. If there is no wow effect, my clients usually come and say, oh, this is not AI. Where is AI in this? You know, so I'm just wondering, what's your opinion on this? Tanya, this one is for you.
Okay, so from my opinion, wow effect is something that is good to have at the initial, at the start, at the initial stage, but it needs to bring value, for sure. I mean, wow effect needs to be there. It needs to catch the interest good enough, so some sort of an adoption can be ensured, for sure, but it needs to bring value. So now it depends on what kind of value it's supposed to provide, but from our experience and from the products we are providing to our clients, farmers want simplicity, they want efficiency, they want to boost their business, and they want to do it in a simple way. So this is what we are focused on. We are focused on really, really ensuring that they get the value fast. That's most important for us.
How do your clients know that they have succeeded in what you do? So do you have any metrics? How do you feel and see that they actually gained the success?
Maybe it's hard to imagine, but even those customers who are not that technical, after the first attraction with very nice and attractive AI features, they actually set up evaluation methods. So even, for example, in the beauty industry, so we are talking now with a potential customer for months, and they created the whole process, inviting people of different skin colors in several batches of tests in order to compare our solution with competitors. So I think it's quite obvious. Of course, at the beginning they were quite hyped about AI. They started talking with us because they saw that we have emotion detection from the face with a nice two-dimensional temporal chart. So you see wellness and arousal while you're speaking, for example. So that was very attractive at the beginning, but now we are talking with them for months, and they are doing very, very detailed testing. And of course, I don't need to mention other industries that are more regulated. And for example, in the automotive industry, it's all about KPIs, about those frameworks of quality for the product. So I would say that the attraction itself cannot sell the product, and sometimes it's also okay to focus on the quality, not always on the novelty of features. Even though AI opens so much opportunities to develop new features that didn't exist before, so there should be some kind of balance. But for a long run, if you want to have a serious business, then I think that quality is crucial.
Thanks. Mario, do you want to add something?
Wow effect is important, period. That's something that I'm always repeating to my teams, because we are an engineering company, we often do things under the hood and nobody sees that, right? So, coming back now it's like, imagine 5G, imagine, the first digital switches, there's zillions, lines of codes and nobody sees that. This is what we do now. We make every time the same mistake. So we make a perfect platform, and we come to the customer, and some flashy UI solutions that are top level, quality, they often get the attraction. So we are repeating, wow effect is a must, because we know we will do, the back end part very good and bring the value. Of course, wow effect is just first selling, right? Value is always, that needs to be in. The more educated the customer is for buying IT products, they will jump to the value immediately. So, but I would say, in today's world, where you have, solutions popping in on a monthly basis, wow effect is a must. You should not ignore it. No matter how good you are, no matter how, messy you are, in the back end, you play the top game. If you don't have that front end, if you don't have, something that catches the eye of marketeers, or somebody, different positions in customer organizations, it's likely that you will not, be so successful.
Great. Now you have opened one more question, and that's how much do clients currently understand? What's their level of knowledge and understanding? And also, does their level of understanding puts pressure on your organizations? And also, what kind of pressure? Are there any kind of stress, etc.? I will let you to tell us more about it.
So it's, clients do not understand. We do not understand. You know why? Because if I take any big company right now in Croatia or in Europe and ask them, do 50% of your employees know a lot about AI? The answer would be no. So there is no single big non-purely AI company in Europe or world where you can say 50% of our employees are AI educated. So if you're looking about it. So consequently, customers are not AI educated. So 5% is not good, 10% is not good. But this is how these are the averages of AI educated employees in companies. So education time is in front of us. Depending on the industry, requirements and pressure will be different to the team. There is always, there is always magic triangle, quality, budget, time, right? You cannot have all of them on max. You should choose what you want. So if they bring pressure, we want flashy AI tool, within a month. It won't be cheap and it won't be perfect quality. So there is no escape from that, right? Pressure, yeah, I mean, in product management is like very often like living on the edge. People who do not want that stress, who do not want to be the customer's request, they should go to more process-oriented environments and work stressless. It brings stress. It's sometimes very, 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 very hard for people to understand and fulfill the customer. But I think customer insight, as always, back to basics. Customer insight is always great. We need to work more with our customers, not just give them trainings, but live with them. One short story. I was convinced by my R&D manager that we have a perfectly good and flashy UI, and that customers are wrong in basically complaining about it. So I took him to the next fair. He presented, 50 times that to the customer. He got totally, turned around when he came back. You're right. It sucks. So that's the way how you learn. You should, it's simple. Customers need to be educated and you should work with them, but you also need to teach internally your people more how the world looks like and why this pressure is coming out and so on. So I don't see AI is bringing any special, getting at my 15-year product management, career and experience. I don't see that AI is bringing any different kind of pressure to our teams as opposed to any other technology hype. But it's faster. Things are, as we heard, things are happening very, very fast, especially with, Gen AI floods, and lots of different, products and insights on the market. That's the only change.
Okay, Tanya, how do you deal with your clients?
From our perspective, there's not enough knowledge on both sides, I would say. Not enough knowledge on the AI on the client side, not enough knowledge internally within our team as well. Of course, I mean, all of this is changing. There is something new coming up all the time. Clients see that. They want it, they have an idea. They want to check it with us. Sales sometimes oversteps, and overpromises something. Then you need to go like a fallback step towards educating everyone. Okay, there are technology limitations here that don't allow us to do something like this. But we are still learning as well, we as a company, and we are here also to teach our clients as well what we know and what is possible and what isn't. And when it comes to the pressure on our teams, I wouldn't say that there is a different kind of pressure than it usually is in any of our implementation projects, but there is a different kind of pressure. The pressure of an unknown, where you are delivering something or maybe trying to deliver something for the first time, and you are trying to find a solution for it, and you are still missing, you know that you're missing some knowledge to round up that product or a project or something, and then you need to transfer it to the client. So there is still like, that's the biggest challenge here, like managing client expectations, because they see a lot of hype, a lot of announcements, various different kinds of announcements, risky announcements even from the companies that then bring the clients to us with various kinds of requests that then we need to manage properly with adequate knowledge as well on our side, to be conscious and to be responsible with this as well, and to set some boundaries here as well. So this is a balancing effort that is going on at the moment, I would say.
But what kind of boundaries? Can you give us example?
I mean, for example, I mean, if the client wants to have a, I don't know, let's say, an advisor that can conclude by itself and provide the advices based on a very vague data set, there needs to be a clear communication here, you know, how the data set is structured, how the product will work with this, what kind of outputs can it provide, and why. This is important to explain to the clients before just jumping and grabbing the, you know, yes, we can do it all. Yes, it can provide the advices based on 2 sentences of the data set I installed there, you know.
Great. Gordon, what about you? And by the way, how many clients do you have, if you can share with us?
We have around 300 clients, but of very different size. So probably one client is bigger than all other clients together, and so on. So it's not that comparable because there are different business models. But I fully agree both with Tanya and Mario and Burley. I don't have anything to add. Maybe just to emphasize that educating clients is very important for managing expectations, because AI is new technology, and as other new technologies, there is like a gradual trajectory of changes and improvements and so on. So from some perspectives, they might seem as there are not so many changes. However, there are some specifics. For example, dependence on data or regulations. We are actually dealing with human faces, so GDPR and so on. So it's very important to talk with clients and to adjust expectations, but focusing not on the technology itself, but on the value that we would like to reach together with customers.
Great. So the time is up, I think. So let's wrap it up. If you would have to pick one message you want our colleagues to bring back home with them, it can be, I don't know, advice or encouragement, whatever, what would it be? It's not an obligation if you have something on top of your mind as our final thing here.
Be patient with customers. They are really important for your business. So that's definitely not to lose too much energy or not to lose patience with the customers, because as Gordon said, the levels of understanding and of data to come to the solutions are really low sometimes at customer side. So we need to gradually educate them. So be patient with them because they're very important.
I love it. Anything else to add? Or we are finished?
I'm inspired by Igor's presentation, so I would emphasize the importance of interactions over processes. So now product discovery is even more important than ever, but then also it's important to listen to the teams and then see what is possible, because I think these perspectives are exploding. And this interaction between product organization and development organization is very, very important.
Great. Okay, so that's it, I think.
It could be.
Thank you very much for
Although we
listening.
could extend it, just slightly extend the conversation to you, because there may be some of you who'd like to ask a question or just sort of find out a little bit more as you're curious of what this conversation has brought. Any questions at all from you, our audience, to our panelists?
Thank you for your viewpoints on AI and products you do. But just curious, how many of your companies are using AIs like in your organization structures, in the sense that your employees use some AI tools for their work? Again, it's more common that AI company will use them more regularly, but agree with maybe your experience.
At the moment, internally we use some tools, but it's more of a, let's say, tools for increasing their own productivity in certain tasks. But what we are trying to do and also introduce internally is like leveraging the existing platforms that we use and we have at our disposal, like for example, Copilot Studio and stuff like that, to use them for internal educations, to leverage all the materials, all the company information that we have, and to enable our colleagues to get to the information quickly, to have the possibility to leverage these kinds of information seamlessly. And also what is important is to eventually, for all the companies, to take care of also the security component here, with just of really letting everybody roam around all of the different kinds of AI solutions without having the clear guidelines for it. So this is also something that is important as well, to introduce clear guidelines for using the AI tools, but also to allow usage of AI tools, because hell yeah, they will increase productivity. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Tanya. Do we have more questions?
Anybody else all happy? We're happy, yes we are. I think that's it. Listen,
Yeah.
Mario, Tanya, Gordon, and beautifully moderated by Mayana. Thank you so much. A round of applause for all our panelists and Mayana as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening.
Fantastic. Just stay there just a second. Right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We are now, believe it or not, it's the end. It's the end of day 2. We've had this yearly event. It's a niche event. It's an event that clearly is strictly all about those ideas, sharing that knowledge, sharing that expertise for you to take away. So hopefully you've got lots of different things you'll take away. And for some, it will be completely very different from others, which is all okay. But again, it's all about that knowledge that we've been sharing here, those conversations as well. This is a 1 yearly event. And remember, another great thing as well, very shortly, I believe, next week at some stage, you'll be in your inbox. Watch out, because you'll be getting an email from Gordon. Well, you'll be sending it, yeah. An email from Gordon, hopefully. An email from Gordon, and in that email, you'll have a link to the photos. You have a link to all of the slides of the presentations as well. We're going to hopefully, if we can, create the video as well. So in there, again, you see something that maybe others in your industry, others in your field will benefit from. Please share it out to them. Share it out on LinkedIn, share it out on social media as well, because again, this is you'll agree, a very niche event. So it all depends on the quality of the speakers, quality of the conversations here on stage, quality of the attendees. So again, you know people within your network that would be a great fit for this as an attendee, even as a speaker as well. Let them know. And then again, this is the kind of event we can build on, because again, it's really depending on the quality of what we have here, of the people that come, that make it so good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Product World 2024. I'm going to say goodbye to you. Again, I don't know, you might want to reach out to me. I'm over on LinkedIn as well. So if there's anything to do with storytelling, pitching, speaking, all those things there, reach out to me. You never know when we might need each other as well. But apart from that, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day in Opatija, whatever you do while you're here. And we look forward to seeing you all again, hopefully next year, for more Product World 2025. Goodbye. That's it.